Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my Jay Bird. This is remember 1976 and 1977 when I first learned how to play chess. Created my opening, my theory, and how to play the game, and I still play this way today yet. And I'm in white, and it's called Nightbird. Knight's waiting to bot 2000. No errors, no assistance, no help of any kind to beat this bot. Game 24, and let's go back to 77. And we could discuss a little bit more as we go. D3, D5, E3, E5, D2, C6, A3, F6, E2, and there's your knight's bird. Now, the J bird was the two bishops, which I called a day, which in the last year or two now, I named them because I think it's right that they should have names. And as far as I know, it was the two knights as the hippo, but this is called the J bird. And you could put your queen up, Donna's bird, or this is the night bird, or the queen and the knight's queen, which I call. And you'll see in my other videos and then how the theory works. And this one's one of them, moving the pieces around the back and playing your game. All right, and how that got started actually is Jay Bird got tired of me playing the two bishops, so didn't even know uh, when I first did the two bishops, I says, look, I could put the knight here, I could put the queen here, I could do what I want, move the pieces around. Well, anyway, how it really got started was he got tired of me playing the two bishops all the time, and then the knight started or the queen started, and vice versa, and the pieces got moved around like this. That's how it really got going then. At first, I was too thrilled about my Jaybird winning my first game with the two bishops here, and made the opening and won with it for the first time. So after E2, A6, H3, E7, that's the pawn structure, because he kept running his bishops down all the time. And I told you beginning what happened, it slowly came about, and I finally got it put together. After E7, B3, castle, B2, and I picked some things up. I'm learning about the extra pawn push here and things. After B2, E6, G4, I start my attack, H6, F1, D4, pass E4, B5, E2, and there's the knights waiting, which they would say, well, that's the hippo, but the structure would be the kind of the same pawn structure, except and he told me back in 77 that that's when he came back and said it's the two pawn, the two knights, but not the two bishops. They said they didn't find the two bishops like that, and it's called the hippo, and that's all I know of it. But with like a couple weeks ago, I just watched and saw how the hippo openings was, and it's true. But my theory don't run that way. You see how you'll see it. And this how this game's working. After E2, G6, knight E up, G3, H7. Now I go back into the knight's bird again. I bring the bishop up, G7, move it up, F3, D6, F1. See how you move your pieces in about, and then you can bring the bit. You can just do it any way you want, moving your pieces in around about back here. After F1, G5, H4, F3, takes F3, D7, H2, H4, free pawn but not really, castle, E7, G1. Whoop. After G1 is B4, A4, D8, F5 check, F5 takes. Now we'll come back. If he takes it here, I would take it anyway, and then he'd have a discovered check. So he went this way. After F5, F5 takes, C5, H3, G5. I take G5, he goes here. Well, you say if he takes the pawn, he can't. He'll end up in a checkmate, and we'll go over that later. After E7, G3, A5, G1, H5, G6, H4, G4, F6, F7, F7, H4, E8, takes f6, takes f6, g8, e7, d8. Of course, I'm going to trade all the pieces down. Takes d8, g8, e7, f3, d6, d1, c5, e2, h6, g2, h3, c1, h4, d2, b6, e1, h3, g3, h5, f2, h3. Trying to figure a way to get through, and then I use the knight. After h3, g2, h5, g4, g5, h4, h5, f6, c5, h2, h2 takes, nowhere to go, takes h2, d6, g4, e6, f2. Now, when I get here, you'd think, well, push it. I wanted to make sure. That's why I ran my king up. After f2, d6, g3, e6. See, now I could have went here, but I wanted to make sure that there was nothing, no funny tricks. After e6, h4, d6, g5, e6, f4, takes f4, takes f4, d7. See, and then we end up doing the same thing anyway. But after d7, e5, e7, takes e7, takes e7, e4, e6, d4, d7, c5, e6, d4, f7, c6, e7, takes c7, e6, c6, e7, b5, e6, e3, d7, takes a5, e7, takes b4, e6, c5, e7, a5, d7, a6, c7, b4, b8, b5. I want to practice my pawns and my king moves. Here, finish it nice. After b5, c8, b6, b8, c6, c7, d5, b8, d6, c8, e6, d8, a7, e8, and that's game. Let's go back. And I think there's still a lot more to moving these pieces around the back like this. Yet to be seen. Still. There's my knight's bird. I'll move the bishop back because I want to pass to move the knight forward. And then go back in the knight's bird. This is what I'm saying. You go back in and out with these pieces and work it the way you want. You can even run that here, put the queen up, come over here, go over, you see what's fit. And this is what I did. I moved the knight there. All right, I figure attack, get that knight out of there as soon as possible. Bring the other knight up. He takes, which looks like a free pawn, but it's opening lanes, but I don't think I castle. Run the other rook over. Pass there. Now I go in. He takes. Now you say, well, we'll take with this. Here's what it would look like. Take, check. He's in check. Now I get my piece back anyway, and we'll be even in pieces. But that's not the way it went. When I came up, he took there, I took here. So now he can't move this pawn because he'll be in check. So he went here. I slide over. He moves up. I take it. He moves here. Well, you say, well, why don't he go like that? Well, no. I'll jump the knight here. And look, he's got problems already. I jumped the knight, look. Then you say, well, what happens if he takes? Well, that's not good. Well, that's checkmate. So you can't do that. So he went here. Let's say he would still take. And I jump my knight up so he can't take. what's he going to, he can't get out now either. Oh, let's say he goes like this. Guess what? Check here. Now what? You go back, checkmate. Rook defends it. All right, so that he can't do that. So he had to come here. You can't go no other way. Then I saved the piece. So I'm up a piece. And this is how the game went. Got a check. I wanted to trade pieces down. That's why I put the queen there, not the rook. I want to trade pieces out. Because I'm up that one piece. And then everything just falls. I move that up to defend that. I hold the only lane open. And if he goes over there, I just do that. No problem. I need to get the bishop in the game. And I did. I'm trying to find a way. I had to go back. I said, okay, I got to use my knight. And then once he did that, there's nowhere he can go. Can't go here. Take it with the bishop. Can't go here. Can't go. He's got to take it. The game goes on like this. I ran the knight all the way around thinking that in case there was any funny business going to happen up there, him moving his knight around or something. So I just did it that way. The game went like this. You just defend everything. You got to move. And anytime, if you would have went here, then I would have put here. And then if you would have came down here to get the bottom of the chain, and I just run this one up. No big deal. Okay, when I saw that, all right, it didn't matter. I stop it. I just still hold him. Now he can't get up. Now he really can't get up. And then I saw my chance, and that's it. Finish him off. Okay. Thanks for stopping by, and we're going to have some more. Remember, 1976 and the 77. Thank you.